If you've been scrolling through endless golf simulator listings, watching video after video of people swinging in living rooms that look more like tech labs than fairways, and you still can't decide which one actually gives you a decent practice session without breaking the bank, this review is for you. I've spent the last few weeks setting up the OptiShot 2 golf simulator, testing it on a rainy weekend, and even swapping stories with a few other owners on forums to see where it lands in real life. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's cut through the hype and figure out if this golf in a box really belongs in your garage, basement, or spare bedroom. First off, the biggest hesitation most buyers have isn't about the tech, it's about the logistics. A golf simulator promises you can hit a ball indoors, but the reality can be a mess of cables, a flimsy net, and a mat that either slides around or tears after a few dozen drives. The OptiShot 2 tries to solve that by coming as a single package: a launch monitor sensor, a swing trainer stick, a net, and a hitting mat, all tucked into a compact box. The idea is you unpack, assemble the net on a stand, lay the mat, clip the sensor to the mat, and you're ready to swing. In practice, the assembly is genuinely doable in under 30 minutes if you have a clear space about 10 feet wide and 12 feet long. No power drills, no welding, just a few bolts and a quick-release clamp. Now, who actually benefits from this setup? If you're a mid-handicap golfer who wants to shave a few strokes off your game by practicing swing tempo, alignment, and club face awareness, the OptiShot 2 hits a sweet spot. The sensor tracks the club's path and gives you a simple visual on the screen, essentially a 2D representation of ball flight. For someone who can't get to the range 3 times a week, having that instant feedback after each swing makes a difference. It also works well for families. The net is tall enough to catch a driver, but you can dial the launch sensor down for kids using a shorter club, turning a practice session into a fun indoor activity. On the other hand, if you're a low handicap to aspiring player who craves precise launch data spin rates, launch angles, club head speed down to the mile per hour, this system will feel more like a novelty. The OptiShot 2 sensor is designed for good enough metrics rather than professional-grade analysis. It gives you a ball flight line and distance estimate, but it won't tell you why your driver is slicing beyond the visual cue. So, for serious data junkies, you might end up supplementing it with a separate launch monitor, which defeats the whole all-in-one promise. Let's talk about the day-to-day experience. Once the net is up, the mat stays put thanks to a non-slip backing, but you do need a flat floor. I tried it on a concrete basement, and the mat didn't shift, even after 30 drives. The net is made of a heavy-gauge mesh that catches a driver's ball without tearing, and it folds flat for storage. One practical weakness shows up when you start using the full swing with a driver. The ball can sometimes bounce off the net and land near the edge of the hitting area, requiring a quick reset. It's not a safety hazard, but it does add a tiny interruption to a smooth practice flow. The swing trainer stick included with the package is an interesting addition. It's essentially a weighted rod that clips onto the sensor, giving you a visual cue for swing path. Beginners find it helpful for keeping the club on plane, and even more experienced players use it as a feel tool when they're trying to iron out a specific flaw. The downside is that the trainer can feel a bit flimsy if you swing hard, and it's not adjustable for different swing lengths, so taller users might feel cramped. Software-wise, the OptiShot 2 runs on a Windows PC or Mac that you connect via USB. The bundled program offers a handful of courses, virtual fairways that simulate different terrains, but the graphics are decidedly basic. It's not a high-fidelity, photorealistic experience you'd get with pricier simulators, but the courses are functional enough to give you a sense of distance and direction. If you're after immersive scenery, you'll probably want to pair the sensor with a third-party app like E6 Connect, which can be done but requires an extra purchase and a bit of tech savvy. One of the hidden trade-offs is the reliance on a decent internet connection for software updates and the occasional online leaderboards. In a house where Wi-Fi is spotty in the basement, you might notice a lag when loading a new course or syncing scores. That said, the course swing analysis works offline, so you can still practice without internet. You just lose the community features. Value for money is where the OptiShot 2 truly shines. The price point sits in the low to mid-hundreds, which is a fraction of the five-figure cost of professional launch monitors. Considering you get a